All right. Oh, and then Paul, what did you take for your upgrade?
Um, uh, uh, deceitful replay. What's it called? Bluffing replay.
Does that let you do a reroll?
I can re-roll when I'm trying to deceive someone and it doesn't go so.
All right, so we are picking up with all of you. This is sometime after you've left the village that you were in previously. You stopped the assassination attempt, as well as the
And
um,
completed the other one.
the attempt to frame him. The merchant was very very happy, especially when you brought the dagger back to him. Paid you all some money for the help and protection, and then after not too long, you're kind of back on the road again. You are through a lot of these places. Again, there's the roadside shrines have been kind of good places to stay where you can, but you're not always able to find them in time. There's one point you're coming through a fairly deep valley. Like forests are fairly thick in this
Hmm.
area, and you've been looking for some place to hopefully crash close to nightfall, but you haven't really found much. As it's starting to get dark, you see uh, a deer, like an actual deer, like run across the path um, with an arrow in it, and your guess is it's probably going to drop relatively soon from it. But then you hear a struggle happening deeper in the forest from the direction the deer came.
Oh, hmm. I'm thinking scampering up into the tree, and I'll go check it out and see what's going on.
And
Okay,
I will tend to dinner.
Thank you. So I'm going to go scout.
okay, Mikey, you go after the deer. Okay,
Yes.
and Paul.
Um, I'll go scout as well.
Okay, are
See
you heading closer to that direction of?
yeah, see what the commotion is.
Okay, um,
Well, Mikey whips up a stew in 5 minutes. Since it's
yeah, yeah, Mikey, you kind of rush over as the deer kind of falls. Dave, what you can see as you kind of scamper up, and you're looking in the thing, and there's a lake not far from here,
Hmm.
and you can actually see there's a home there. There's some smoke coming out of it. Um, you do notice that you can't quite see what it is, but there's something painted red on the door, like a symbol of some sort.
Okay.
But closer to, and it's like with the fading lights, a little harder to see. You see that there is a young man who uh, a fox who has been slashed looks like
Okay.
across his chest and something, and he's sort of running and stumbling and trying to rush between trees, but something is leaping up from the ground, hits the trees, kind of swings around,
Okay.
and is coming after him. It's not a person, whatever it is, and it's definitely not attacking like an animal would attack.
Okay. All right. Um, is he running in my direction?
Right now, he's just trying to get the hell away from whatever that thing is you're seeing. So, Paul,
Right.
you're rushing in that direction.
yeah.
Yeah, you,
Well, rushing might be a strong word,
yeah.
but
You
getting.
see Paul silently making his way.
I'm old. I don't really rush anything.
Yeah, and you to the point where not too far where you see you actually can see a part of a clearing, the bow and arrow that had dropped. And as this guy's sort of rushing around these trees and to try to keep this thing from getting at him. He's trying to make his way. Looks like back towards the lake. But it's almost this baboon like demon that is kind
Demon.
of getting the trees.
Oh, I played Oriental Adventures. We got to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can I snatch up the bow and arrow on my way to follow him? Is it in that path?
Yeah.
Yeah, do that.
So I flop this now dead deer over my shoulders and start carrying it merrily back towards them, not knowing what's going
Okay.
on.
You start walking back through the forest. What are you two doing?
I'm gonna try to quietly follow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping distance, but yet still, where I can see both of the things involved, both of the other entities.
Okay. I would say go ahead. I think what'll help here is make a read the situation
Okay.
from where you're at.
Just need to roll.
It's
My,
plus initiative.
my initiative is. What's my initiative? Where do I find that?
Scroll down halfway down left side.
Ah,
Or just pick a number between -1 and 1 and go with it.
It'll be the top one of your stats. It'll say you look where your story points are and go 4 above it.
negotiation, righteousness, and schooling. So it's a 0. So I don't have it on there. So I don't have any plus or minus.
It's the one directly above negotiation.
I don't have anything there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a 0 for you.
Yep. So I rolled a 7.
Okay. So yeah, in this case, if you want to, you can ask one question and then +1 forward to act on it.
Okay. The creature that is pursuing the fox, you mentioned it looks like a demon.
Yep.
Is it truly a demon, or is
That
it?
I would say take a look at the roll of the situation, because that stuff you're looking there is more of a lore thing and less of a reading a situation.
Okay.
It's actually on the roll 20 on the right by the map. There's a list of those.
Gotcha. Yeah, I need to make that a little larger. I'm gonna zoom in because my old eyes can't see it that small. What is here that concerns me?
Yeah.
This demon monkey thing.
So as you're sort of looking, the other thing you see is you can see further on, like in front of your vantage point, you're in kind of a good place. Further on, you see other shadows sort of moving between the trees. Shelter is going to be a fairly important thing. You have a +1 forward acting on that.
Okay, so trying to get to the house would probably be. Now, I'm going to ask if this is. How far am I from the house?
It's the actual sort of feet thing. It's one of those things where if you hurry, you can probably get there before these other things that are coming. There's just the one in the way.
And is the fox running in that direction?
Yeah, he's trying to, but the baboon thing.
Okay. So if I can do this,
Hey guys, I got dinner.
I'm going to attempt to ignore what Mikey is saying, and I'm going to try to, as I'm swinging toward the cabin, to kind of snatch up the fox. Oh, is this it? All right. Hold on, we got to try the coffee thingy. This is
Furry coffee.
like
Did you
Is that
say
with
furry?
that beer you had earlier?
fluffy coffee. Not bad.
I thought you said furry. Somebody said furry coffee.
Furry coffee.
I said furry coffee in honor of the game we're playing.
Thank you. And I'm supposed to thank TikTok. Apparently, that's where she saw the recipe.
Yeah, you got to do it quick though, because I hear those don't last long.
Yeah. Anyway, and as I swing in, I'm going to try to scoop up the fox with, any ability that I have and try to get to the house.
Okay. And wait, so you start to do that, Paul. What are you doing? Well,
I'm grab the bow and any other equipment that's spilling out from this fox. If I get a chance to take a shot at the demon, I'll try that.
okay, make a roll. And then Dave, have you make a righteousness roll, or overcome, which is plus righteousness.
I rolled above a 3.
Woohoo!
Success.
I don't suck today.
So what is that for you? Is
Minus 1.
No, I mean for Paul.
That was a 9.
But on
know why
your
it
with your attack move, what is that?
Well, since I'm not using an actual ninjutsu weapon, do I still use ninjutsu?
That's your fighting style, right?
Yeah, the fighting style. The fighting style is what you roll regardless.
So it's a
I'm
weak
trying to
hit.
remember if the bow is actually.
Ooh. I rolled a
Bow might be considered. Let me double check. Weapons.
Because if it is a ninjutsu weapon, I might. Oh, I don't have a story point. Damn.
Where's an actual bow and arrow? Damn it! Oh, there we go. Dayu. It's a Bushido weapon, not a. Yeah. So you got the weak hit.
Yeah.
All right. So as you hit it kind of like sticks in the thing's shoulder part of it, but another part of it breaks off. As it goes, it kind of stops, looks straight at you, and which is perhaps not the best thing that's happened to you today. Mikey, you hear the screams. You hear the scream of the creature.
Oh,
but not of me. Mine's a little high pitched. It might not be in your hearing range.
so
Dave, you go in. Oh yeah, 12, no problem. He's like, you grab him and you're making your way
And
towards
doubles, dude.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
Yeah,
that's a
perfect.
special. That's an event, right? Is that what that's called?
Yeah, the event is for specific things, but in this case, like if you're impaired, it's a bad thing. But here, yeah, you managed to grab him as the arrow, like as you're kind of coming down, the arrow goes in front of you. You just
Nice.
grab him and start making your way.
See, I told you we should have. I told you we should practice this kind of stuff, this choreography, because it looks really cool when it works out.
Yeah, Mikey, you've got the deer kind of on the shoulder, and as you're coming through, you hear the scream, and you see the thing. You see the thing on in the woods.
I see it,
Yep.
guys. Why didn't you tell me something like this was here, guys? And I pick up and start running towards where I think they are.
Okay.
my
And,
my
dude,
pudgy raccoon dog burdened
Yep.
by a dead deer.
Would you like to also make a no lore to see what you know about this?
Hey, I get to make a straight roll. It's a 5. That's yeah.
Yeah, I will say in this thing, you know it is, it's a demon. You know that demons. It's probably a minor one called a hai. They are susceptible to Buddhist prayer.
Okay. Well, I am going to immediately start praying as I as I'm trucking my pudgy butt with this deer.
Okay.
Oh Lord, don't let this demon get us.
Yeah. So as it said, so we've got right now Paul's facing off the demons like with remarkable speed. Mikey's coming towards you doing the prayer, and we've got Dave heading towards the house. Yeah. So the demon like hits a couple trees, like bounces off, tries to come down with a huge slash right on your head. What do you do?
Same thing I always do. Just dodge to the side and try to trip it.
All right.
Is this raw or is this initiative?
Initiative.
Nice.
10.
Saving
It's
them
higher
up.
than a 4.
Yeah, I was apparently saving them up. And this
Strong hit.
upgrade I chose really kicked ass.
Let's have some.
We don't have to worry about non-lethal today.
Yeah, so it sounds like with the trees and such that are in the way, you use some of those to like kind of help duck out of the way. Of course, you try to trip it. So is it, you want to count that as a counterattack or dodging?
I could use my bow staff to like hit the broken arrow in like a nail, but yeah, I think it's a counterattack.
Okay, counterattack. So yeah, what do you have on a 10?
And that's still using my fighting style.
Yeah. Well, yeah. There's no.
Strong hit.
Yeah, that's a strong.
Yeah. As you kind of come, you said you're trying to like trip it up.
Yeah.
And just like knock it into a tree, goes and it hits the ground and is still a little stunned.
Hey, Allie.
But it's going to be down for a little bit at least.
That's good.
Nice.
I succeeded in something.
And you are hearing the other ones coming that way.
Oh, I forgot to mention, I'm going to whisper into the ear of the fox as I pick him up. It's okay. We're here to help.
We think.
He doesn't freak out and think I'm a demon.
Your hair smells really nice.
Yes.
As you wish.
Yes.
So I just come trucking straight in, muttering the prayer under my breath, looking up. Are you okay? Ayumi?
Did you just throw a deer at a demon? What are you trying to do?
No, I've the deer's over my shoulders. I'm still carrying it. I found a deer. I'm not throwing it away.
Should use it as a prop in your exorcism.
Yeah. Yeah, then the two of you hear some screeches further on, and you can kind of look at it, and as the lights, like the sun is already set, but you got the last little bit of the light kind of starting to go. You can see some of those things moving through the trees in all of your directions.
This is about to be a very not good place to be.
Dave, you land in front of the house.
Mm-hmm.
What you see in front, you don't know the specifics of it, but there is like a Buddhist symbol that is drawn onto the door. You know it's some sort of a protection thing.
Yes.
It's drawn in like red paint.
Yes.
The fox kind of hits the ground, goes, and he's just like hands shaking. Oh my God, who are you? What?
I'm just a friend. Let's get inside.
Yeah, opens the doors. Come in.
And I'm gonna yell back, over here, guys, to the house.
I'm totally not a face-stealing baboon demon, here to kill you once I'm inside your house safely after you invite me in.
Right.
You can work on saying that less suspiciously.
Can I come in?
Yes.
Knock, knock.
So we hear,
Land
guy, over here, get in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps we should go in the house.
All right, so everybody heads to the house?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you kind of shut the door. And you get in, and he's like the guy's just, and you see a young woman who's kind of like rushed over to him, and he's been like he got like caught like raked across the chest with the.
Please tell me this is his house and like 4 weird dudes didn't just barge in on her house.
Yeah, well, she rushes over to him, like, and she just goes, "Juzaman," and like kind of brings him over to the table. There, and the thing is, you're looking around. There's been some repair work. I mean, it looks like this was a house that until recently had kind of fallen into disrepair. But you're looking around, you've seen some repair work. There's still some places that are patchy. There's still some stuff that probably needs to be done. But this house has probably not been stayed in for too long. And yeah, Miki's looking at him, and then looks up, and she's like, "I'm Miki. This is my husband, Josamon. I don't know where you came from, but you saved him."
I found a deer. He looks like he needs medical attention. Why don't you hold this?
The deer is long past medical attention, brother.
Wah, wah.
I flop the deer off of my shoulders and into a Yumi's arms.
Okay.
I will hold this for you.
And then I go to look at, you said Jezelman?
Mm-hmm.
So I go to Jezelman's and I'm going to see what I can do to help him.
Make a doctoring roll.
So
That's
that would be
Buddhism.
Buddhism.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to look out the window while he's doing that and see where these demons are.
You see that some of them have kind of like now like hanging in some of the trees and stuff. Like a lot of some of them like almost like in between them, and they're just sort of staring, but they are at a distance.
All right, so I rolled a 6, so I get to add one more. D6.
I was if you hit the exploding roll, that'll do all that for you.
Yeah, well.
But okay.
Oh, sure. You mean I should do this?
Yeah, you are allowed to use the whole.
Oh, look, I got a 10. If I give up my support point, can I have gotten the 10?
No, I was saying your Buddhism actually does add your current support.
Oh, does it?
Yeah. So you would have had a +1, but that makes
so
it.
it's a 5.
So 5, yeah. So I think basic doctoring stuff, or
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm just yeah.
It's not as bad as it probably could have been. As you kind of go, like you can kind of like patch it up some. It's not going to kill him, but as strong as those things can be, the fact that it didn't hit that hard is either luck or the thing was messing with him, which is not hugely like unknown for some of those types of demons.
So these hey they do this sometimes. They play with their foes.
Because I was on a hunt. I didn't notice. I knew we were getting close, but we needed food, and I was out after dark, and I knew we shouldn't have been.
Well, you're a good shot. I believe Ayumi is holding your deer.
Yes. And maybe your bow. Apologies, I had to use one of your arrows.
He laughs at that. He goes, "You are completely forgiven." I would offer you a place to stay with us the evening, but as you can see, there's really not a lot of choice in that matter.
Yes, we're not exactly leaving.
And I love venison.
So let us pretend it is a very friendly arrangement.
Yes. He goes. He kind of looks and goes, "You came from the south?" Which you
I
did.
think so. Yes.
Did we?
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know.
Honestly, did
You
we?
tell us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
He goes. So you did not pass through the village up north of here.
No, we did not.
not yet.
We've been staying shrine to shrine, usually.
Oh, that should be the name of our first album.
We're calling ourselves Shriners.
All right,
got
I'm out.
fez.
Gotta go, guys. I'll talk to you later.
You're breaking up. You're breaking up.
Well, actually, I'll leave. I'll see myself out.
You're like, that's fair.
You're not allowed to have fluffy coffee anymore.
Mixed with the short brewing. Yeah. Whew.
No, we have not seen the village up north.
I just didn't know how they were. These things have come out in the last. I mean, occasionally we would see them in the forests outside the village, but
For how long have the hey plagued you?
those most of my life, pretty much all my life, it's the village we come from had been haunted by a demon for quite some time. There was a idol, a Buddhist idol in the center of town that was guarded. It's no longer there.
Destroyed? Stolen?
I don't believe it can be destroyed, but it's the demons have it. They must.
Well, it
I thought
seems that,
I thought that a Buddhist symbol would repel demons. How could they steal it?
Because Buddhist symbols can repel, but the idol itself, someone must have removed it. Oh, by the way, everyone take a story point.
Ooh, a mystery.
So we add a story point.
Yep.
in my experience, we must look for the person with the rubber mask.
I ain't got away with it if it weren't for you, dog, Monkey and Tanuki.
They sent me away from the temple for a reason.
Listen, the first time you pulled on the elder's face to throw a mask, we all laughed. The 8th time, we're like, come on, dude.
They started calling him Scooby-san.
You kept foiling their plots. Of course they're going to send you away.
Yeah. And yeah, he didn't
My
have a
plots-
mask, but he was protecting the person that did.
So these hey, they are not active during the daylight hours?
Only come out at night. The city, the village itself was always protected during
So he's
the
albino.
evening. We just knew not to go into the woods at night.
And these Buddhist symbols of protection, they actually afford protection from these things while we sleep?
Because, well, they haven't come in yet. We've been here a week and a half.
Well, then I suggest we eat. And in the morning, we shall take a look at this town to the north. Unless someone else has a better idea.
I'm tired. I can eat and sleep. That'd be great.
Okay.
Are
Anybody
you
else
me?
do anything besides, like, eating and then crashing?
My usual, I'll play an annoying Jethro Tull song on my flute.
Ian, settle down.
I don't know why it sounds out of whack. I've only hit a whole bunch of people with it.
Sounds just right. I'm the lead flautist.
I will flout the hell out of you. Yeah, so that they help you like skin, strip, and prepare the deer. It's not a bad little feast actually. And like the places to crash here are, I mean, they've got their room, but there are some places you can make up.
Sure.
That are maybe a little bit better than being in a temple, like a little roadside temple, which has almost nothing.
Certainly, it's better than being on the open ground and outside with baboon demons or monkey demons.
Yep. And as you look out, you still see them just like watching, but like most of them start to like take off after a point. But you can every once in a while you still look out, you can still catch a little bit of them.
Yeah, out the window.
Demons every night during the day. Everyone tending crops, conducting business.
Put it in the chat to try not to be disruptive. So.
Yeah, but then we all got to read it.
Yeah.
Like we all go, where?
It seemed like there was something like that. Is that we're night? I mean, yeah, it's not quite. What is it? Oh my! It was an excellent series. Pre and then post apocalyptic.
Yeah, but I think the apocalypse was like not modern apocalypse, but maybe it was. I don't remember. I only read like the first couple chapters before I lost it, and I don't remember what the name of it was to find it again. So.
The Passage.
It sounds familiar. Yeah.
Well, that's the Passage is. It starts off pre-apocalypse, but then it goes like 100 years in the future, and they're in the post-apocalypse where there's vampires. These almost animalistic type of vampires. So you've got
this is like the opening chapter is like some traveler comes across a village where someone didn't strengthen their runes in their house, so like 3 families died when the demons got into one of the houses.
Kind of cool.
All right,
it's a fun little apocalypse.
The Warded Man.
Never.
I Googled that for you.
Yep.
The name the Warded Man doesn't sound familiar, but the demon cycle does sound familiar.
Slowly culling the herd that the shelters behind magical wards. Symbol of powers and origins. This would sound like...
I basically just copied and pasted your whole search, starting at the whole world and ending it the next night. And that's the result.
Yeah, but Corlings, the word, Corlings, I think this is it. I don't remember that being the name of the book, but Corlings sounds really familiar.
I'm that good. Let me Google that for you. All right. Extra story point for Mikey. No.
You get a Google badge for your Boy Scout.
Okay. So, the morning comes, and it is clear out. You're not seeing any of the creatures or the demons. You've got the birds and such have returned. And then you just got this sort of really pretty lake. Light gleaming off of it. And the two of them come, and they start making some breakfast.
Well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's answer some important questions. How was the venison last night?
Yeah.
I would say Miki cooked it, and she's a pretty good cook.
Yes, Miki.
I'd like a venison biscuit sandwich, please, with some cheese.
Yeah.
I'll see what I can do. And it's very clear this is a young couple, probably very recently married. You just sort of there's that new couple energy. Like when they can, they're always touching each other. She's worried about the wounds he took.
That whole we still love each other vibe.
Yeah.
We still like each other vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
Love and like, not the same thing.
We're probably going to die together, so let's make the most of it stage.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, good fight, good meal, good night. Have fun. Wait, we're supposed to check out the
I'm imagining that there's probably a trail that leads north, or we just head back to the road and take it north.
You can just head back to the road and take it north. And then this isn't too far from the road. I mean, it's visible from the road, but there's not like a people haven't kind of walked through here enough for there to be like a steady path, at least in quite some time.
While we're moving north, I'm gonna stay in the tree line, up in the treetops, as long as I can, as long as there's forest on the road, just to kind of scout ahead and keep an eye out for anybody coming and report back.
He's got a fetish.
I like treetops.
Yeah, that's right. The monkey swung from the tree and grabbed the fox and said, "It's okay, we're friends."
Yep.
And I fletched some new arrows for him last night. He'll probably need those.
Yeah, his like the ones he's made are not bad. As you sort of kind of look over and see what he's done, it's like he's maybe done some of this before. In some small villages, like you don't have like a Fletcher who is that's all they do, but he's definitely worked with tools. So where are you going now?
Heading north to the.
Yeah, we're moving towards this village that we've heard about that's been plagued for a while.
Preferably towards the missing icon.
If you could, we had problems with our parents, so we had run. If you could maybe not tell them that you met us.
Right. We did not meet Jessamine and Miki in a cabin by the lake while baboon demon Hey-Hays were attacking them. Totally didn't happen. Absolutely on the DL.
27. Yeah,
Totally deny it.
Definitely
It was
not
perfect.
27 meters east of the road.
Because we don't want them trying to return us. We're not supposed to be married.
And why not?
Miki's eyes kind of go down. She's like, I was promised to someone else. My father had arranged it.
Well, then we'll have to act surprised when someone in the village tell us the icon is missing.
Good idea.
We will make every effort to be discreet.
We don't-
Is there anyone?
But
Sorry, go ahead, Paul.
say we don't have much luck with that, but we'll try.
Is there anyone in particular we should speak with about the missing icon?
Takafumi is the village elder.
Very well.
Okay. So you head.
Yep.
Right, so you head up towards the village.
Off to the village.
All right. As you start to get kind of closer, you do notice in the trees there are various charms and other stuff have been placed up there, and you actually see that they appear to have been actually put up there for a long time. You'll sometimes see some that are quite old and like weather worn near some newer ones.
I'll point this out to the gentleman below. Hey guys, look at this. There's a symbol right here. Look how cool it is.
Is it a cool symbol?
Yeah,
It's
these are essentially like charms that are supposed to keep demons in such a way. But they're sort of strewn along the paths. As you get kind of closer, you do see also some of these like small like Buddhist idols that are kind of placed throughout. There's like quite a few of them, and again, you see the symbol that you saw earlier, as well as like the one that they had on the home protecting it, as well as some of those other charms. And the village itself is pretty small when you enter into it. You've got some people kind of going about. There's some crops and such being worked on, but like almost straight to the center of town, there is in the middle a fairly ornate for the sort of skill level you're going to find in this village, like altar that is set up, and there is like a locked cage almost in the middle. That part of it is opened, and this one, and there's nothing inside of it.
Okay.
And you also see on the doorways. You also see that same symbol painted on all the doorways, as you can see.
Is there a name of the village? Do we know? Have we been told?
Nope.
Is there a sign anywhere that says what the place is called?
No.
First chance I get to ask a citizen, just to, excuse me, we are traveling through and want to know where we are. What village are we in? If you don't mind.
They give. I'll find it. I'll make up one here in a moment. They give you a name.
Okay.
Could not help but notice your altar in the center of town, and it seems to me something's a bit off.
Yeah,
I can't quite put my finger on it, but something seems incomplete.
Yeah, one of the people one of them's coming in carrying like bundles of firewood, and so you've got it as he kind of walks through and looks at you, and you mention this. You've come at a bad time. Our idol has been taken from the city square.
No.
Who would do such a thing?
Sort of nodding. We lost 2 of our guards, but you should talk to Takafume. And he points at one of the houses. If you want more questions there, but if I were you, I would pass through and go to wherever you're going. Don't be here when the night falls.
Sounds like there might be some kind of a party going on after the night falls. Is that what you're saying?
It's like, it's not safe to be around here once night comes.
Ruffians, the ones who stole your idol.
Please talk to Takafumi, and then heads deeper into the village, dropping off a couple things of firewood at a few places on his way.
All right, I guess we're gonna go talk to Takafumi.
Indeed. So I wander over there and knock.
Okay.
Gormlessly on the door.
Yeah, as you sort of knock, you don't get a response from it as you're there, but then on the field sort of nearby, man stands up from it, stretches, and goes, it is an older guy, probably, also a fox, probably late 60s, kind of looks over at you and goes, "Chose a bad time to arrive here, strangers," and goes, walks his way, and he's kind of like gets some kinks out of his back as he goes.
So we have heard, honorable elder. I take it you are Takafumi?
I'm the elder of Yamabiro.
No, that was me.
Is the name of the village.
I cannot help but notice the decor of the buildings and homes in the area, all with very similar decorations out front.
And it's obvious you're a priest from what they can see.
Yeah.
I goes, "I'm certain you're aware what these symbols mean."
Absolutely. I am a bit concerned about your altar in the town square.
Come with me. It comes in. First, he kind of grabs this little washing bin and washes his hands. And it goes, "Please, come in."
No. 20 minutes at least, 6 feet away.
Don't wash your hands for 20 minutes. That's the last time.
20 seconds. 20 seconds. I want to see your skin coming off. No.
He goes, I am. As you know my name, I'm Takafume, and you are.
I am Tanuki Maiki.
And he looks over at
Hotaru.
Hutaru and Ayumi.
I'm a Yumi, just a Yumi.
Okay. He goes, please, something to eat or drink?
Oh, yes, please. I'm famished.
So what has brought you into our village?
The whims of fate. We travel through, we notice there are Brutus signs of protection on every building. We see that there is an incomplete altar in the center. One of your wonderful and delightful urchins informs us that it is not safe to be here after dark and that somebody has stolen your idol, and we have questions.
If fate has brought you here, fate has not been your friend.
Fate rarely is my friend. Have you seen my die rolls?
Yeah. I can attest to that. He is correct.
I found a deer last night. It was dead.
I ate it anyway. Our village has long been cursed. We stay here because we have no other place to go. The village itself has been safe. There's been demons would appear in the evenings. We just stay inside, and we guard our idol.
Kind of demons are we talking about here?
Highs.
Eyes. Monkey demons. I shoot a glance over at Hutaru.
I know no demons.
However,
Hated.
nearly 2 weeks ago, 2 of our young guards went missing. One on the eve of her wedding. They disappeared. The altar got broken into. It was taken, and the next evening, the highs of my entire life, and this older guy, it was my entire life they've been around, but something else came that evening.
That is interesting. You say one of these guards was on the eve of her wedding?
Yes, it's tradition for all of the younger, within their teenage years, all the way up, take turns in the evenings guarding the altar. These two, she was to be married the next day. It's when the attack happened. There was blood found near the altar, and further into the woods the next day. A lot of it.
Are you worried somebody perhaps killed our young guards?
I have to imagine someone else came through, because the demons themselves have never actually been able to come into the town. It's only if they're outside. We've got enough protections. We have the idol. You clearly saw the charms and such we have out, surrounding the village, but
Indeed.
it has been since my father's day when we've actually had people come into the town itself, or creatures or demons or whatever it was come into the town. Someone must have come and stolen it and killed the 2 guards.
Ponderous.
Wondrous indeed. Has anyone been seen around the village lately? A non-native, a traveler, a merchant?
Other than us, of course.
You are the first. Very few people come through here. You're the first we've seen in several months, and you come 2 weeks after, so the chances of it being you are low, because if you was, you probably would have fled from here by now. A small village like this has nothing. There's very little to offer bandits. And plus, one of the good things is bandits don't come here because the problem with coming to this area at night.
Yes, that makes sense. If there were bandits, they would likely be dead before they reached here, if there are indeed demons who wander at night. How fortuitous that we arrived in the morning.
If you do clear up this demon problem, probably best to keep quiet about it.
If we're able to clear up this demon problem, that would be a wonderful thing, and we would not. We would keep things almost as they have been, simply out of a tradition, and also to keep ourselves safe. But currently, we are not. There's something moving through the village at night now.
Well, Elder Takafumi, my friends and I, we will retire and see if there is something that we think might be done, and if not, I will at least bless this town before we move upon our way.
It was. That might be appreciated. It was. My father had known a Buddhist monk who traveled through, who blessed the Buddha that we had in the idol, or in the altar, and that is what has kept them outside of our doors for so long.
Can we make them a new idol?
Good possibility. Uh, but someplace to stay. We can get you one of the houses to remain in.
Splendid.
That
You
would be much appreciated.
food and drink.
For which Hotaru will gladly pay in coin.
Of course, yes, but I'm a bit peckish.
His coin, Hitaru. His coin. Don't pay them with their own coin.
Yeah,
Of course.
He goes, do you have any experience? He goes to kind of make you something. Do you have any experience with demons?
I have 3 ex-wives, if that's what you mean.
Just my
They
own.
made me leave the temple for a reason.
Just my own. just my own.
Yeah. I got my demons, they're kind of kicking my ass, so I don't know.
I have recently had a close encounter or two with a demon.
Giant swig off a bottle of sake. No, why do you ask?
And you seem to have survived.
Well, perhaps fate is not entirely my enemy.
Well, please, if you'll come with me, and he can get you some food and such, because I will introduce you to Kuniko. Her son was one of the guards who was taken.
Indeed, thank you.
Indeed.
Okay. So yeah, he after you have something to eat, then takes you to a house that's a fairly decent sized home. Her husband died a few years ago. Her son has now disappeared. I think it may be good for her to have a priest nearby.
It might also be helpful if we were able to talk to the family of this young woman who was guarding.
There's just a moment he goes,
Oh, I feel so stupid. I just made that connection of who the guards are.
Ta-da!
actually, I'm thinking about this guy's. Oh yeah, there's a moment where he just kind of looks at you. I don't believe I mentioned it was a young woman who was guarding with him.
You did, in fact. You
Yeah.
said she was guarding on the eve of her wedding.
Yes.
Oh, never mind. Go back.
That
Yeah,
multiple
yeah,
times.
yeah. He goes. I'm sorry. Suspicions.
See your suspicions.
I had that moment. I'm like, it's a detective movie thing where someone's like, "How do you know?" I'm like, "Oh wait, yeah, he did mention that."
Suspicions outside the building.
Nice try, Perot.
By the way, have you all seen Knives Out?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
The donut hole speech.
Mm-hmm.
There
There's
was
a hole in the middle of our donut hole.
the donut
which
hole
makes it
is
in
not
essence-
a hole.
It's a smaller donut.
There was an interview where they're talking about it, and Jamie Lee Curtis just turned to him and goes, "People are going to be doing your speech in acting classes for decades."
Yeah, well.
Okay, so
No, indeed, you did, in fact, mention that.
I apologize. Suspicions are
I mean, metagame, I'm assuming it's his daughter.
no, it's not actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then.
Yeah, he goes to introduce you. The door slides open. Kuniko is older, like in her 50s, or probably late 40s, early 50s.
Oh, wife number 4 for Mikey.
She's a fox.
And then she's got like some mourning clothes on for her son's death. As she opens doors, yes, and Takafumi goes, we've had some strangers come to the village who are here to help. I thought having a priest here, you've got some extra room, would be good for both of you. And she kind of nods, and she's like, I am Kuniko. Very nice to meet all of you.
I introduced the group so that we don't have to wade through awkward introductions.
Okay. And he goes, I will, as you introduce here, you can kind of get, like, drop some stuff off. But then he goes, I'll also introduce you to Miki's parents. And a bit further down, Oh yeah, he'll actually mention at this point. It was my son who was supposed to marry Miki. He's been heartbroken since it happened.
That is tragic.
Sunji's a good boy.
Such surprising news.
And comes and knocks on the door, and as it opens up, you've got people are starting to kind of come back, like for lunch and such. This is Yusako and Mamio. They are Miki's parents, and he explains that these are people who come to hopefully help us with what's happened in the village.
Indeed. I just have I want a polite conversation with them, but what I really want to do is read the situation.
Okay.
To see what's going on. Well, do you want to role play it out, or you want me to do a read the situation roll, or a combination of the two?
We can probably do a combination of the two. Is there anybody else specific stuff you're looking for?
I'm just listening with interest.
Just observing, watching the master.
As I try very hard not to say, "Oh no, we met them already." They're lovely kids, crazy in love.
You should have heard them.
She's a very good cook.
Probably still alive, living in some cabin, sheltering, waiting for this to blow over.
By a lake.
Awesome here.
Is this you talking with Miki's parents?
Yes, because he introduced us to Yusaka and Mamio.
Mm-hmm. And then Kunuko, who you're going to be staying with, was
Miku, yes.
Juzamon's mother.
All right. So I understand your children were on guard the evening that the idol disappeared, and they disappeared as well. Yes?
Yeah, are you talking to both of them at this point?
Am I?
No, because the house you're going to stay at, they talked to
Right.
the other house to meet.
I will go ahead and
Miki's.
talk to Yusaka and Mamio.
Okay.
I understand your daughter was standing guard on the eve of her wedding.
Kills.
This is suddenly a Disney film.
Yep.
Some window that I tried to open like 3 hours ago.
That isn't a Pornhub soundtrack I'm familiar with.
It's what I am. But,
You have my video, you son of a bitch.
you're more flexible than I thought you'd be. I was a little impressed. Yeah, Yusako just she was killed on the same night that the idol was taken.
That is tragic. She was to be married the next day.
Yes, to Sunji.
Suji. Yamabiro's son. Or sorry, Yakafumi's son.
Takafumi. Takafumi.
Takafumi's son. There's so many words written on my thing.
Yep.
And I've got such poor handwriting.
All these notes.
Yes, the village elder's son. It's a good marriage that we had arranged for her.
And she was in love with was it Shaku?
Sunji.
Sunji? She was in love with Sunji.
Yeah. Mamio actually speaks at this point. She wasn't, but young brides so rarely are.
Indeed.
Besides, it's a bad thing to be in love with the person you're going to marry because all you can do then is become disappointed. It's better to grow in love, as we have.
Indeed.
Problem with the old ones I hear too.
I can't quite hear you, Paul.
So the problem with the old ones I hear too. The whole not being in love with their husband.
It's she smiles a bit sadly at this one. She's like, that has, in our case, not been the case. But we were relative strangers when we were married. She at least has known. So she had known Sunji all her life. She wasn't looking forward to it, but she knew it was her duty.
Indeed. Was there someone she was in fact fond of?
There's a moment where a look kind of passes between the two of them.
Asking for a friend.
I only ask because if she disappeared on the night before her wedding, then, and if she was in love with someone else, then perhaps we have someone we can talk to, a person of interest.
But there was blood found on the ground there, and I mean, both of them were killed.
Are you saying she was standing guard with the person she was in love with?
Juzumon and Miki had been very close ever since they were children, and we always thought that one day they would probably get married, but then life happens. They grew apart some, but it felt like they had maybe come back together. But she knew that she was to be married.
Apologies, but I did take note that you said blood was found rather than bodies were found.
The bodies must have been taken. We
As
looked for
was
bodies.
the idol.
We looked for the bodies, looked for the idols, but the amount of blood was.
Can I do the read the situation roll now?
Mm-hmm.
This is just a straight exploding roll for me because nothing applies.
Okay.
That would be a 5. So
Okay, and your initiative is a 0?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, at this point, I mean, you can definitely see, I mean, they know that there's...
That it's tragedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't get to ask any questions other than what I've asked, and won't get any answers other than what I've asked.
Yeah, like
So-
none of the sort of more metagame questions or plus ones going forward.
Oh wait, no, I get to add 3 to that because I have a story point,
Oh, you want to use that?
right?
You can spend the story
Oh,
point, which then becomes
sorry.
a support point.
I add 1, which because I have the story point, so it should be a 6.
No, that's plus initiative.
But I have a story point. Don't I get to add 1 to all my rolls?
Not
if
all
I
your
have a
rolls.
story
You can no story points are specifically for combat.
point? Okay.
Yeah, and the thing is, you can spend them to get a +3 back.
Mental combat.
Also, actually, up to 6. If you get it to 7, if the two of you help with like support points, you could pop them up to 7 if there's more specific things you're looking for.
But that would just be one question. I don't think that it's
Yeah.
necessary here.
Could I also?
But there's some teamwork involved here too, because that's what
We're
I
all
do.
listening.
Yeah, part of the teamwork stuff is usually you have to set that up beforehand.
That is true.
Oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah, the teamwork is more specifically. This is one where you can kind of talk some out of character to figure out those things. But yeah, the teamwork is you do before they do theirs.
To be obedient to what you just said, I failed my role.
Okay.
Thank you so much for talking with us. And if we have any further questions, is it too much to ask that we could trouble you again?
No, not a problem. Dave, what'd you roll for?
The same idea, kind of doing what Mikey was doing.
Oh,
Just
it's the way you can only really do that once per.
oh,
Like because everything else is the same, and it's so you just have one person do it. Like support points can be helped there, but otherwise all 3 people could try a thing until it worked.
oh, okay. We don't want to do that. Heaven forbid.
It just becomes very repetitious, Dave.
Yes.
Um,
I've heard it's repetitious that way. I'll show myself.
Sometimes it repeats. So I excuse myself, and we should be walking out on the street once we're away from them. I mentioned that it strikes me that this, and I'm making sure that nobody's around
Mhm.
that can hear us, but it strikes me that this Sunji might have acted rashly if he had found out that they were leaving, that they had left. Maybe he went to visit his bride the night before and found them gone, and then took the idol out of rage or frustration. I don't know.
I am getting a little different vibe. I'm thinking maybe the two took the idol to make it look like they had been killed.
Another very good. So, do you want to talk to Sunji? Do you want to talk to
Yeah,
Kaneko, or you want to go back?
They did.
I think
They expressed concern for the village. That could have just been like, "Oh, our parents still live there," or that could have been, "Did we fuck them over by stealing the idol?"
Mm-hmm. I think we need to do some more chatting with the other interested party.
Well, in that case, let's If are we going to be able to make it back there and back to the town before nightfall?
It'll be difficult to get there and back before nightfall. They're far enough. They went far enough away. Guessing they probably thought they weren't going to be in much danger, but also they weren't going to be stumbled upon by people out hunting or something.
And we have story points. We'll be fine.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. If anybody asks as we're leaving, we plan to be back before nightfall. We're just going to look around the local woods to see if there's anything to be found, perhaps any evidence of their idol being taken away in the nearby woods. Since it doesn't, if it was in town, somebody by now would have obviously returned it.
Perhaps we'll find a deer.
Maybe I'll find a deer. Let's head back and talk to this Jizamon and Miki.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So by the time you get there, night will be sort of fast approaching. So you're
that far away. Okay.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can beat the demons.
You be good priest. I'll be bad priest.
Well, when we're doing
I know
this,
you stole the icon. Where is it?
You're going to have to set up the teamwork roll before we do anything.
Yes.
All right, Ayumi. All right, are they still there?
Who?
Back to the cabin.
Jizamon and
yes,
Miki.
you go back. Yeah, as they they're still there. At this point, they're working at planning some food. You see them on a garden that they've kind of redug back up, and they're going in there. They're kind of getting the rest of it done for the evening. As you show up, they're both kind of surprised in their face. Oh, you've returned.
Yes. Well, we wanted to check up on you after hearing that you had died.
And the dinner smells delicious.
He just kind of like, it was what we needed to do.
Go on.
They would not have, and Miki at this point goes, my father would never have allowed me to marry a butcher.
Is that where the blood came from, Jizamon?
Goes, he just kind of like looks down and nods. He goes, pigs bleed quite a bit when you slaughter them, and I slaughter them on a regular basis. It wasn't hard to get the blood.
Mikey, we can test your theory by lying to him a little bit and saying, well, you don't have to worry about that anymore. Apparently, with their idol stolen, they're all dead. And then see if they look guilty. If they stole it.
That seems a bit mean. Oh, by the way, your parents are dead.
Whole village, every single one of them, dead,
All of them,
dead.
dead, burned to the ground, monkey poop everywhere. It's crazy.
We could be a little bit more subtle and say the nightly killing. Every night, it seems like one villager is killed.
We could tell them that there's nothing to worry about because they found the idol and everything should be returning to normal in the village.
Or we could go that way too.
Sure. And then they glance back at the thing in the back corner of the shack with the tarp over it.
Oh, that thing that the camera never showed in the previous visit.
Yeah.
It's always been there.
Well, how do we want to approach it?
Well, if I'm going to lie to them, I'm not going to tell them everybody in the village is dead.
Well, if you want to figure this out, I'm going to use the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
All right.
Can you hear that in the background?
No.
Nope.
Okay, good.
Is it a ninja?
My wife's making a cake, so work.
The mixer in the background?
Yeah.
I can only hear it when you're talking because your microphone automatically dims the volume when you're not.
Shut up, man.
So, all right. So what are we going to tell them? I'm not going to tell them either. I'm not going to lie to them. One of you two will have to lie to them.
I have no problem lying at all whatsoever.
I know this.
The thing is, if they had stolen the icon or the idol, it seems less likely that they would have been the ones to tell us about it, as if we were going to go off looking for it.
Or they did that to throw us off of the trail.
Or if they did steal it, they just hid it like 10 feet outside the village and no one has just found it yet.
I think that we should just address it straight up. Ask them if they know what happened to the idol at all. Let them know that by leaving the village, either directly or indirectly, they're responsible for these nightly attacks getting worse because they left that unguarded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The idol of protection is gone, and
They failed in their duty, even if it meant that they were following their heart. And
yeah, exactly that. Say that.
Yeah. It's an appropriate amount of guilt.
We'll let Tanuki take the lead since he's the elder.
oh yeah, and I roll so well.
All right, so what do you?
Can't hear you, Michael.
Yep. So what are you doing?
Look, kids. First, before we do this, anything we're doing is getting set up by a teamwork roll. We're just kind
Yes.
of teaming it. So a Yumi's going to roll before anything gets rolled.
So how do you set this up, Yumi?
Well, we kind of like, as we were approaching there, kind of pre-rehearsed some strategies and directions the conversation could go depending on answers to certain questions and who might interject with what. And
Okay, nice. So yeah, so you'll notice your teamwork is you add your support to it.
okay. So 8.
I'm going to give us story point, right?
Yep.
Okay.
A story point will still just make it a weak hit.
Really?
Yep. Because it's up to 9.
So not a support, then a
Oh, if you're doing a story point, yeah, that would make it a 10.
yeah,
but
story
yeah.
point. I thought
you can't spend story points for me.
Right.
can't.
No.
Well, then I can. What a support wouldn't work then, would it?
No.
6. Yeah, 7. I mean, the
Well, 9.
both of you get them up to 9. Yeah, so at that point you can move up to one of your story points to support, then give a story point to a friend, or do you want to give him just +2 forward?
I'll give him. Mike, you think +2 will be enough, or do you want the story point?
Oh. Give me the story point.
All right, I'll give him the story point.
Okay, then go ahead and give yourself another support.
All right. Well,
Because I'm probably going to need it.
Mikey rolls. Everybody run!
It's 2 ones. I'm at -6.
But it's a double.
So it's extra bad. They murder us.
they're monkey demons.
Look, kids, I know it's a crazy, whacked out world and we all have to do things that we don't want to do, but the honest truth, the honest to Buddha truth is either you took the idol when you left, or you left it open to be taken and left a huge amount of guilt and despair in the village, and you are directly or indirectly responsible for the suffering that everyone in that village feels at this moment and for the past few weeks, or 2 weeks since you have left. So I must ask you, do you know where the idol is or who would have taken it? I'm not asking you to go back. I'm asking about the idol.
Okay. Sounds like, I think in this case, a little bit overcoming their nervousness.
Sure.
So roll, add your righteousness.
Oh, I get a +1. So it's exploding roll +1, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is an 8. So I'm going to pop a story point and make that an 11.
Okay. Strong negotiations. Yes, a strong demand. There goes. It couldn't. And Mika's originally. She's immediately like, it could not possibly have been our fault. Josimon goes. You've noticed that the sign we have here keeps the demons away. The same sign that's everywhere in the village. All the rest of the stuff keep them. As a matter of fact, when we're out there and we had it when they started to swarm us. It didn't keep them away from us, and we threw it away. They actually went after it and started taking it north, up towards the mountains. The idol didn't do anything.
The idol. You took the idol.
The idol does it's tradition, but it's all the other things that
We want our venison back.
I've been out here before. I've seen that it's just a sign. We don't need all the rest of it. The idol is tradition, but it doesn't matter. And again, it didn't stop them. We had to make it seem like we had been taken, that someone else had come and stolen it. But the demons should be out. Like here, they've not been able to come in and attack us in our home.
It doesn't occur to you for a single second that perhaps having this totem of its enemy's power, these demons may in fact themselves be empowered and now free to walk the streets even stronger than they were before. Oh, wait, no. What does a Buddhist monk know about Buddha? Nothing. We are kids. We know everything. I don't have to marry who my parents tell me to. I don't have to be honorable and guard the Buddha statue. I'll stay out here and slaughter pigs in the woods and let people save me and be an dishonorable jackass. I get it, kids.
Mikey, make a no lore roll.
Oh, sorry.
You know what's weird is right before you launched in that tirade, I was starting to feel like a Dogs in the Vineyard vibe, and I was starting to like finger for my pistol, and it wasn't there.
I got a 9.
Okay.
If
Yes.
somebody wants to give me a support, that's a strong.
I will.
There we go. It's a strong hit.
No, I will say this. I wouldn't worry about the support because the stuff that we're going to get, you only really need the one for.
Okay, then don't worry about it, Dave. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the thing: the high highs are not necessarily going to gain more power. The high highs are essentially what they are. But if they grabbed the thing up and took it, there might have been something else
Right.
that idol was keeping out.
They don't need to know that. They need to feel guilty.
Right. Well, no, I'll tell them straight up. And I say it. Perhaps you have noticed that what has been coming around is more than just the high highs. Perhaps you have noticed that the idol may have been keeping something more out that is now free to enter your village at night. And whose fault would that be in that case, do you presume?
Their eyes just both go down.
North they took it. I will not presume to tell you that to do what you already know you should do. Your lives are your own to choose. You are you are surrendering yourselves to the whims of your own fate. However, we are going to travel north in an effort to protect the village that you put at risk. What you do with this knowledge is up to you.
One might also add that while their lives are theirs to make decisions for, are the lives of their villagers theirs to make decisions for?
What he said.
I noticed that someone in this place was pretty good with a bow.
Well, thanks. I mean, I was just one shot, but I hit him right in the chest.
Yeah. Then Miki goes kind of in the back and she grabs a spear. And you can see it's one of those, it looks very comfortable in her hands and you have a feeling that the people in this village are actually probably surprisingly good fighters because they've been trained in case something happens from a young age. We'll go with you.
If we leave now, we should get through the village just before dawn, thereby keeping anyone from seeing you come through.
She goes, go in the evening? With the high highs out there?
You have a better suggestion?
Would you like to go through the village in the day and then walk through the woods at night to the north looking for the idol with whatever else it is out there? Because this Buddhist monk is going now.
Cut to outside the thing. Everyone gain a story point.
I'm such a dick.
It's like that scene in the Flight of Dragons when all the chitterlings are gathering around outside.
We will need to move quickly.
Okay, let me check some real quick. Okay, cool. So, at this point, we have two people who are better at, if you want to try sneaking your way through before anything, to try to find things, we've got two of you who are pretty good at that.
Yeah. Some scouting that behind maybe would not be a bad idea.
Exactly.
Okay. That could, I don't know if you want to do like as a teamwork and then a stalking roll,
Yep.
essentially.
Yeah.
Stalking roll.
Okay. There's for your teamwork.
Hold on. Check one thing here real quick. I have a +3 for support on that. So that means I need to roll +3, right?
How'd
And
you?
you can take +1 forward to make that a 10.
Okay, I'll do that. So use my support.
Okay.
Right.
Where'd you get the +3?
On my user sheet, it says for unique move stalking,
Mm-hmm.
it's support. Oh no, I misread that. I thought it said +3. It's plus support.
Yeah.
What's my support?
1. So it'll be 2 below that.
Okay, sorry.
Unless you spent have you spent a story point yet?
I have not.
Okay, then yeah.
So I can do that.
I can spend mine to give you +3 or give you a raw +1 for free.
If I spend mine, it takes it to what, 11 or 12?
Yeah. So for right now it'd be 5, 6, 7 plus what? Plus 1 from Paul from teamwork
Yeah,
for the 8.
8, and then
So
It
if you
could be
spend a
plus-
story point, it'd be 11.
yeah, let's do that. I will spend the story point.
Okay. So between the two of you, if you want to describe how you managed to avoid there are less of the bamboo demons out this time than you saw the other day, but what are the ways that you avoid them?
Number one, staying higher in the trees, and making sure that when we pass between, like if we have to go like where there's a demon on either side, passing high enough and going slow enough that we don't attract any of their attention. Also using distractions like before I get too far, I'm gonna grab like pine cones or nuts or small stones in my pocket and then throw them in opposite. If there's someone if they're starting to detect that we might be there, to throw them off.
Okay, and then how are you helping out Paul?
Have
guys-
bird calls.
No, how's Paul?
Addressing Paul or asking how he was helping Paul?
No, how are you helping out?
I think I'm doing more of like a circuit around the group as it travels, to basically make false sounds, draw them off in a different direction whenever I sense that one might be close, and then sneaking back to the group.
Okay. All right, so you come back, and it gets to the point you are fairly tired by the time you get there because you've been up all day. But like the sun is starting to come up as you reach the village itself. There are again, it's fairly quiet in that area. You see that something has come. The cage that had held the Buddha at one point has been ripped out of the altar and thrown. You can kind of see it like it's basically been thrown off to the sort of the side of one of the streets. You also see a couple places that look like they were clawed up on, like from fairly sharp claws, on some of the porches and the wood beam stuff going up, but the houses themselves all seem fine.
Is this a sizable cage?
Yeah, probably about the idol probably about yay big.
Okay, so it's not full sized,
No,
full
like-
human sized or larger.
Yeah, the idol would have been about yay big, and so it was big enough to kind of. And it was an ornate cage that was a place to hold it where it could still be seen.
Okay, so we just need to move quickly through here and start moving to the north before people start coming out and see the two with us.
Okay, just
Can we have disguise them in any way, just in case, like hoods up or something?
well, at this point, a lot of people are probably tonight with whatever came in still asleep, or maybe
Sure.
they've just recently gotten asleep. So if you are you just passing through the village quickly?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, they're able to sort of like that hats and stuff on, so they can. You head up.
I let one of them use my hat. It is a great honor.
He's still wearing it.
It's amazing.
So I think here, what might be the best thing is
Cake?
your stalker.
Yep. Want me to roll again?
Sure. I don't know. If Paul's wants help with
Paul,
teamwork on this.
teamwork
as well.
on this.
Yeah, well, as always. Yeah, and this time I can actually do a little better. So you can take a +2, or I can give you my story point.
I'll take a +2. That'll make it an 8. That's help, right?
Do you have a support point, Dave?
I do.
You get to add that on your stalker, yes?
Oh, okay. Well, then I should already be at an 8 then, right? Because if Paul gives me 1 and then I have my support point.
Yep.
I can give you 2.
There's a 9.
Okay.
Okay. What does 9 do for you for stalker?
Let's see. 9, according to this, stalking up to a 9. Get a strong clue about a person of interest, or follow a strong target without being seen, or flee, or break off from following a grand target without being discovered.
Okay. Yeah, as all of you sort of heading up, you get to a point. You're actually seeing that like the highs, they're not stealthy when they're moving, and they're not often moving on the ground. They're going through the trees when they're going in bigger numbers. The telltale signs of them are not kind of hard to find. You kind of wind your way up towards an old path. It looks like it's not been traveled a long time. It takes you up into like sort of the mountain, and there's a cave. That as you sort of approach it, there's a feeling on the back of all of your necks as you kind of see the cave. There's something dark and evil about it. It's you can feel it, but it's kind of hard to pinpoint what's making that happen.
That looks like a fun place. Not at all.
There's a puppy in the cave?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's your good boy?
She is a good girl. She's probably barking at a fox, really.
Chewing on your Buddha statue.
All right. Do we want to investigate the cave, or do we want to avoid it altogether?
It's where the trail's leading to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let's go into the cave. Where do you think they took the thing?
It's the only place that makes sense.
As you approach, there is you kind of like start to sort of see inside. There's a lot of very dark in there, but there is like a palpable evil energy coming from it, and you see like deep in the back there is like the Buddha statue, like the Buddha idol has been placed in like look at a part that's actually been almost like torn out of the rock,
Like an alcove.
Yeah, but one that looks like something ripped the rock out. It's all jagged and
Okay.
and you hear a voice. A woman's voice, low, deep, kind of coming from all over the place. Who approaches my home?
Ayumi. Just Ayumi.
Tanuki Maiki.
Hotaru.
And Paula, did you said something earlier?
I just said my name.
Okay. 'Cause 3 fools come to die. You are not of my vengeance, though those with you are. Leave and live. Save them for me.
I think not, foul witch.
Continue with your exposition.
Tell me whom I shall vanquish this day.
You'll die by the hands of Suzumi.
Does that trigger anything?
You
Sounds familiar to me.
I will say this, Mikey. If you want to make a knowledge or a no lore roll, and I will say, Paul, you notice at that name, Miki and Juzamon's like jaws both kind of drop. What the
I
hell?
only got a 5.
What the hell is up with the rolls today?
Yeah, I rolled them.
Yeah,
Guys, I'm rolling really well today for the most part.
yeah.
so
Roll 20 has been.
Shut up.
That's the problem.
There's a fairly good chance. One thing you know, there's a fairly good chance that this is a hanya, which is basically the spirit of a woman who was wronged. The problem is going to be while she's within her lair, she's going to be practically invincible.
We got to draw her.
A lot of times, yeah, it's not unusual for them to not be able to leave at night. It's not always true, but some of the ones as they're growing to their power reach a time when they pretty much stay in their lairs, except they can come out at night.
Did we ever ask what his original fiance's name was?
I was thinking it was one of Tanuki's ex-wives.
Oh, he didn't have a fiance as far as you're aware.
I thought she was the one who was betrothed?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, come on out and do your best.
Come in and die.
That's why we're not coming in. You have to come out.
I pull out a piece of cold venison from the day before.
I'm just going to plop down on the ground.
About what time is it, Michael?
We'll say it's about 10 o'clock in the morning at this point.
And we're reasonably certain she won't be able to come out.
Yep, till night. However,
Yeah,
going
right.
in there will be a problem.
Yeah, we're not going in.
I don't know if we are, but you
I'm not going in right now.
How far into the cave is the idol?
You're looking at about 80, 90 feet.
Oh, as I was thinking if my rope was long enough, I could try to snag it, but nope, that's not going to happen.
just how good of a ninja am I?
You gonna die if you try. Let's put it
Make
that.
camp.
Yeah, we're just gonna set up camp.
All right, kid. Yumi, you think you can get it? Go, boy, work your magic.
Oh, you know that's not a good idea. Come on. Listen, Tanuki.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to kill each other.
Juzamon's like, we're just waiting out here for it?
She can't come out. We can't go in. She is invulnerable in her lair. But at night, she will come out, and then she will try to kill you, and we will vanquish her.
And
we will
also-
get the idol, and we will go home.
Also at night, the highs come.
Yeah, and you say it, but clearly you know who she is. Explain.
Indeed.
Suzumi was someone who died quite some time ago. The elder's father was supposed to have married her. He, from what has been said, and Sakafume will hear none of this, but he used her, threw her away, and then married someone else. She killed herself. Threw herself off the cliff. But that was generations ago. That was our town elder's father. This was a long time ago.
Was there fruit of that union?
Hmm?
Was there fruit of that union?
No, she killed herself shortly after. Like, he got married and then later on had Takafumi.
So, is it possible to do something to satisfy her and she will move on from this place?
Trade the elder for the statue.
The elder didn't do it.
Our culture, honor travels with the family, man. His father did it, he did it.
Well, in that case, then she should be really thrilled with these two because his son was supposed to marry her, but she spurned his son.
Revenge!
They are the instruments of his revenge, of Suzumi's revenge right here, and she's willing to kill them because I don't know.
Quickest resolution to a game ever.
So I guess we're going to wait till the nightfall if we don't have another.
Either that or we're going to go in.
Yeah,
I'm not going in.
yeah. Juzumon's thing goes when night falls, the high highs also come out.
Yeah, well, we'll have to take care of them while we're vanquishing.
Yeah. And there's a chance they may not follow us into the cave.
So, in a meta sense, what you're telling us, Michael, is if we go in the cave, we aren't going to have a real chance of defeating her.
And if we don't go in the cave, we won't have a chance.
Basically, inside her home, like in that area, she's invincible. Because like especially the Hanya are again the spirits of women who've been scorned and died. If she's growing into her power in this place and been here for that long, essentially inside that place, she's going to be fairly close to invincible.
Is there a ritual I can perform that would make that technically not her home anymore?
An exorcism, it requires a good amount of time and for you to be inside of it to cleanse it.
In the cave?
Yeah, it'd be difficult, but it'd be possible.
Do you have any save? I've seen some videos on YouTube.
Yeah, but I can't go in while she's there because if she's invincible, she'll kill me.
Right, but are there blessings you can do outside of the cave to keep the...
That's what I'm asking. Is there something I can do outside to make the danger inside less when we go in?
Or make the danger outside stay away, like the...
Or keep the hey-hays away.
That would be something to be more of a possibility.
All right. So what would I need to do to set that up?
That's a Buddhism roll.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna do a Buddhism roll. I don't know if there's any way that teamwork will help here.
Well, yeah, because here's some charcoal, so we can start duplicating some of those symbols that we've seen on the trails and whatnot.
Yeah.
Make
I was
your
gonna
roll first, Paul.
Ayumi is probably also very used to having people do a whole lot of work together and stuff. So
Ayumi got a 7.
Yeah, so that means you can get I can give you my story point.
Did you add your support?
Me?
Yeah.
I did not, no.
Yeah, you roll support to that, so you have a 9.
Okay. Yeah, it would be the same thing. So I can give you a story point again, or give you +2 to the roll.
What happens if that's a 10? Because if I give him a bonus, if I give him a support point, that becomes a 10.
Then I can give you a raw +3. So it's a difference of a +2 or a +3.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pay you my support point. If I can find it. There we go.
And then
I have 2 support points, so now I have 1 support point. So you now have a 10.
And then I give you +3 going forward, and that is teamwork right there.
I like
That's
that.
gonna work.
Okay. So
Team.
Ayumi, I'm assuming you get everybody like coordinated to get all the stuff like put together, right, to help them get it done quickly.
Yumi, these are the symbols I need replicated this far apart and this large, and we'll build a sphere around here and blah, 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 blah. Something seems to be wrong. Oh, I know what went wrong with the above roll. Sorry. I added a plus to it instead of just rolling, putting 3. There we go. 10. Oh, fuck a doodle. It's not exploding, so I need to add 1 6 and then subtract 4.
Oh wait, did yours not explode? Oh,
I didn't roll exploding, so
okay,
there. Now it's a fucking 2.
Wait, what? Why is it a 2? It would be
Because I have 2 1s.
Oh, the second one also.
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then -8. It'd be a 3.
Oh, and is that counting my +2?
5.
And can I do anything to help with a story point or a...
Well, so you can give him support, could move it up to 6, and then if Mikey spent a story point,
I'll spend a story point and move it up. That'd put it to 9 total.
Yeah, and I will give you support.
And if I give him a support, that can be a 10 then.
It's a 10.
okay.
That's a strong. So on a Buddhism roll, that is perform grand doctoring or medicines on a sickly person, or invoke a grand aspect of Buddhism, banish spirits, etc., or give someone +2 back to a roll they just made, or spend 1 support to give someone +6 back.
Okay,
Sounds like banishment is the way to go.
yeah. So
yeah, I'm
The
banishing
three
the
guys that
hey.
don't like each other, we work well together.
yeah. So with their help, as you're kind of going, and you basically created like so. There's going to be a place where the hey cannot come.
Yeah,
In
and that's
there.
where we gonna be.
All right, everyone, gain yourself a story point as we go towards.
Certain death.
Mm.
Oh, I mean the resolution.
It's a nicer way of saying it.
Okay, I just put 1 back then. I used 1 and got 1 back. Nice. So now I have 1 story point and still 1 support.
And I have 2 and 2.
Okay.
I have 2 and 1. That's the first time I've had 2 story points at the same time.
So as the nobody has more than 3, right?
No.
Nope.
Okay, if you ever do get more than 3, it goes to another player. So as the sun starts to fall, you spent like all day getting everything kind of prepared, ready in there, checked it all. You start to see some of the highs coming out of various crevices and such in the rocks, other little caverns and such, and they're just and keeping themselves kind of quite at a distance, and you hear this annoyed coming from inside the kind of cavern itself, and then almost from the shadows, as she almost like melts up, there's a woman, also a fox, large horns have started growing out of her head, a very wild shock of hair as she comes out.
You said she's a fox.
Everybody from the village is foxes, so
Yeah.
it
Oh,
makes sense.
duh. Yeah.
Yeah, as she sort of steps out, her fingers are long claws. At this point, goes, "You have wasted enough time, but now you will die." And
Indeed.
she steps out of the cave. And she almost is a little more solid as she steps sort of out of it.
Here's a question, just an interesting question. How many story points are we allowed to spend on any given roll?
I believe just 1.
Just 1. All right. Just checking.
You might need it, Mr. Unpredictable.
I certainly well might. I was like, no, I'm going to keep the unpredictable
Holy.
because it works so well for me.
It's
What
I'm
you
a
all do?
monk.
so far it's been anything but unpredictable.
Yeah, it's been a predictable kicking of ass.
Fate likes to kick me in the gonards.
Except for that one time you rolled just to see that exploding gave you like 12.
Yeah, like 140. It just kept blowing up. It was
4 rolls before we started playing. Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So
So what do y'all do?
Well,
I'm going to start working on banishing this witch.
Okay.
I holler over to Ayumi. Keep the incense wafting. I want him to be able to help me with his teamwork. Keep the incense wafting at her and chant the chant I taught you.
Damn!
And they're doubles. Does doubles do anything on a teamwork?
oh,
It gave me nips. That's what they did.
Yeah, you add your support to that.
I had a what?
The doubles doesn't give you anything in particular on this one.
Okay.
one time.
All right, give the +3 forward.
So I'm gonna do my exploding roll with +3. Yes.
Mhm.
14 minus 1, or the 1 makes it a 10, and I'm going to burn a story point for 3.
Plus my 3. You actually don't need to burn yours.
I already added your 3 in there.
Oh, okay.
So that makes it a 14. 13. It's a 13.
Okay. So it's a grand result.
That is a grand result.
Yeah. So as you're doing the prayer, she and I've got her right now powerful enough that she's was considered a major front. So she had like 9 points that you're knocking down. A grand result is 6 points.
Okay. Oh, wow.
So yeah, and she's doing. You almost see her like almost being sort of pulled backwards. Claws and such are out. Dave.
Okay, I'm going to use the my.
He's climbing on top of the cave.
I was going to say,
Is there a rafter in the cave?
He's scrambling up the cave.
well, I actually was thinking about going above the opening, but I was too close for comfort. I'm going to use my shogi and try like to hit her in the throat.
Okay.
And yank. So I need to roll. And let me double check one thing on my stats.
I think it's just safe to assume it's going to be a 12. I mean, that's what we've been doing this round. So
Hey, now don't.
So let's just not bother with the roll.
That's an 8. That's respectable.
Not as good as a 13, but it's a nice try.
I can throw a support point if you can as well.
Yeah.
Up
Paul.
to 9, I get a strong.
That'd make it a 10.
Oh wait, no. Up to 9 is score a weak hit. Up to 12.
Right. So if I give it a support point and Paul does, you've got a 10. That's up to 12. So it's
Okay.
a strong hit.
Cool. And it says, if I'm using one of my Ranto, use one of its specials. So
That's if you get doubles.
No,
that's right.
it's not going to be doubles because if you have a high enough, that's where I was wrong. There's certain things where an event will do something if you have a special going.
All right.
Yeah, it
If
just
you roll
allows
high
me.
enough, it'll say activate your special.
Yeah, it just allows me to fall back to a covered position once I've hit.
Okay.
Good deal.
So earlier on the teamwork roll, when I gave Mikey the story point, does that also roll over into support, or is that only one?
Yep. Anytime you use a story point, it goes to support.
Okay.
Okay. So what was your what'd you hit her with?
Throat with my shogi.
But what was result?
Oh,
10.
Yeah.
Which is
A
major.
strong hit.
Okay. It kind of comes out. There's some blood. Kind of you go into the secretive place. And there was a big swipe of her claws. It'll basically come towards both Paul and Mikey because like the hand itself seems to grow. How do you two react to the one like swiping towards you?
Can I counter with prayer?
Mhm.
Then I'm going to counter with prayer. I'm going to keep doing the exorcism. I'm sure Paul might want to help me do this.
I'm gonna.
Well, what about our other two people that are there? Do they not have an attack yet, or?
They're both they have not fought something like this. They're terrified.
You know what?
Okay.
I'm fine with them just crapping themselves.
Yeah.
I want them to see what they've unleashed upon their town with their
I'm doing my best to ignore the attack and just continue waving the incense and the chant.
and praying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is that an assist? Or do you want us to do it separately?
Each of you roll separately for.
All right.
So you're just ignoring it? Paul?
No, I thought he was going to be able to use teamwork to help me, so he should probably
No.
counterattack.
This isn't a move you make.
Yeah.
You do a reaction, but so you're not using like teamwork and such for that.
Yeah,
But-
I'm more like bracing myself, not dodging.
You should counterattack. You should just straight out counterattack.
Okay.
And I'm going to. Can I use the Buddhism as my counterattack? Can I counter with Buddhism? If not, I'll just counterattack.
Yeah, actually, I'll say on this one, the appropriate weapon. Yeah, Buddhism would make sense here.
Damn, dude, I rock today.
Nice. Do we need to push that anymore or not?
No, that's
Yeah,
fine.
I got a -1. So do I need to pop a story point to keep from dying?
No, you'll just take you'll basically get like cracked in the chest as you clear the prayers, but it's going to give you one setback.
Okay.
Well, if with my roll, I can use ninjutsu weapon. I can do a strong hit or a regular one with one of my specials. Could I use my retreat to kind of smack her claw out of the way and then tackle him so that it doesn't hit him?
It's still gonna hit him.
Okay.
Just give her the strong hit, man,
Yeah,
just in case.
All right.
And so, what are you hitting her with?
The bow staff.
And kind of falls to her knees, and then collapses.
Nice.
All right, so I stand up and wipe the blood off of my wipe some blood off of my chest, and begin walking forward with a torch into the cave to get the idol.
Okay. Go in.
I'm still praying.
Yeah.
And she's still a solid form on the ground.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to
Let's bury her.
cut her head off.
Okay.
And then I'm going to try and perform a blessing on this place. And that is something that Yumi could help me with. Yes.
Yeah, because it's when you've got some time, and it's not a reaction. So this is a regular sort of move.
Okay. So Yumi, help me out here. Teamwork to bless this place.
Oh, I used it all up.
You got doubles though. That's nothing, right?
No. With this one, I still get a minor thing even on a 6 or so. I can give you. I can spend a story point to give you +3, or just give you a raw +1.
You should. Do you have a story point to give me a +3?
I have 2 story points to give you a +3.
I will take that +3, sir.
All right.
If you're available to do this.
Yeah, that
all
is,
right.
because I get another
So-
support.
Oh fuck me! So that is 11 minus 8
Shit.
is 3.
How does that keep? Have you touched Wayne recently? I still think.
Yes. Wayne has touched. He'd never touch. I did email him from this computer. So
Damn it, Mike.
Wayne. So.
Wasn't it 1.6 the last time too? Though?
So I'm at 3. If I pop a story point, that puts it at 6. And
And my +3. So bless it.
Can I give you?
no, that is with your +3.
Yeah, I'm trying to make.
Can I lend a story point or support?
You can lend support
Okay.
if you're helping.
Neither
out.
of you are gonna. You can get it up one more. Yeah.
Yeah, I can use mine.
Yeah. Just give me one more.
Story their support.
Yeah.
So,
There.
0.
So that's invoke a weak aspect. Sorry, up to 7. Perform strong doctoring, or medicine on a sickly person, or invoke a strong aspect of Buddhism. Banish spirits. So I can. It's a strong one. It's not a grand one, but I banish spirits.
Okay.
Strong.
Yes, and it's starting to fade because she's been killed. And we'll say on that one, it can kind of pop it up to the grand. There's a point where you've got the she herself is gone, and it takes you some time. At this point, you really haven't slept in a day and a half.
Right.
By the time
Well, we have this cave, this handy cave that's protected from the hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I say we sleep.
Does the cave have a dirt floor or a rock floor?
Rock floor.
Okay. Then,
So-
I'm gonna dig a little shallow grave for her outside the cave mouth before I retire.
I'll help.
I'm going to look at Miki and Jezomon and say, so if we leave you to stand watch, we don't have to worry about you running off with a statue, eh?
There's no pigs
No,
around. I think we're safe.
We've
Oh, this is
learned-
me being catty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
me. That was me assisting you with cattiness.
We've learned our lesson. We honestly didn't know that she was what the idol was keeping away.
It's almost like the elders might know things that the young people don't.
So I'm shoving the last of this leftover venison in my mouth. Well, I'm splitting it up. among everybody. I'm offering it around and then putting the last of mine in my mouth. And I'm going to go to sleep after these guys bury this. I'll say a prayer over the grave to put, to hopefully put her spirit completely to rest.
Okay. Yeah, you got her head still? Or do you
I'm
bury
putting
that?
it in the grave too. I'm just wanting to make sure she wasn't physically going to come back.
Yep. All right.
So do you want to desecrate the body anymore?
No, I've had enough. I'm okay.
Yeah.
You want
No,
a little
with
finger
the
for
body
your
of a
necklace
demon.
or anything?
A little
That-
lock of hair.
Keep it with me. I like it because it just starts to move on its own after a while.
Actually, would be like that. That would be our closing credit. Would be like just Dave like standing watch, just twirling like a lock of hair around his fingers, and that's like the signal that like yes, there's going to be a sequel.
Yeah, and then the eyes open.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like the funny thing is that evening, like the high highs, shortly after she died, they don't seem to be around here anymore. The rest of the night passes quietly.
Oh, the whole thing
Or the-
started with her.
The what?
The whole thing started with her. I thought she just made it worse like 50 years ago.
Well, so morning comes and I look at Jessamine and Miki and tell them, I'm not going to tell you you have to go back. I'm not going to tell you what you have to do. These are decisions you must make for yourselves. However, we are returning the idol to your town, and I will be telling Takafumi what happened here, including your role in helping banish the evil.
We will go with you. Yeah, when it doesn't take a terribly long time to get back to the town, maybe about an hour. When you get back down there, the people that are out on the streets, like a little bit of wonderment, like everyone's eyes are, like no one's quite sure what to do. As you approach, well, two things happen. One, the parents of Kuniko and Miko's family. Like Kuniko runs to her son, like screaming as she sees him. Like he just like grabs him up in a hug, and then Miki's family also like bursts into a sprint, running out. You see, Takafumi is that like he and his family kind of have like jaws a drop at that point as you arrive, and Takafumi is looking at both those two and then all of you. It's like, nothing came. What? They're what?
What the what?
Into your home, Elder Takafumi, and I will explain all. In the meantime, your idol, and I hand it to him and I say, if you would like to see that some of your villagers replace it in its rightful place, when I am done explaining to you what happened, I will come out and bless it again.
And yeah, he gives it to someone. They go and they get the cage, and you see them start to get the whole thing set up again. All right, do all of you go into the house?
Yeah.
Okay.
A dramatic moment.
I'll let him have whoever he wants there, but I'm asking that it just be him.
Yeah. No. Right now, it's just him and the three of you.
I'm going to assume that I told, and can we assume that I told Jesselman and Miki not to say anything about the name of the spirit until I ask them to, or until... Anyway, so I tell him what happened, and I tell him who it was, and I let him know. I understand that you may not wish to hear this, and I understand that even though it is true, you may not wish for people to know. Honor is a tricky thing. However, I feel bound to tell you the absolute truth of what happened. What you do with this information is up to you. It is not for me to spread around. And then I tell him of Suzumi and the battle, and of how we met Jesselman and Miki, and how they came and helped us and stood, even though they were fighting something which probably the most terrifying thing that any of us had seen, and certainly the most terrifying thing that they had ever seen. They stood with us against this spirit that had plagued the village, because they realized that it was them who had brought this horror upon their village.
Okay. There's a moment you see as you mentioned Suzumi, he just kind of gets quiet. There's a point he goes, "That is not how it started. said that was how it started. That is not how it started.
I don't know how it started, but I know how it ended. I know that the spirit who referred to herself as Suzumi is laid to rest, that her lair is blessed, that the Heihei were gone last night. These things I know. How it began, I was not there.
And how are those two still alive?
He is a butcher. He poured pig's blood on the ground. I explained the whole thing to him.
So they stole the thing that was keeping us safe.
And then they put their lives at risk and returned, risking your wrath, knowing it was the most honorable thing they could do. As I told them, I will tell you. It is not my place to choose your next action. You must make that judgment. That is not for me to decide.
Pam.
But you should at least know the entire story before you make that action. Once they realized the severity of the situation and what they had done to the village, they placed their very lives on the line to rectify it, and now their honor as they have returned home.
Okay. Hataro and Ayumi, do you say anything or do anything here?
Folding my arms and nodding along with him.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much just going, yep.
The occasional, mm-hmm.
Yep. Preach.
Kind of slumps back and he goes, they were gone this evening. We do not know if they're gone for good.
You froze. You froze.
Oh. Hello?
I heard they're gone.
Yeah, they were gone this evening, but we do not know they were gone for good. If they remain, then all they have done was unleash a greater evil. If all of this is done, and they were a part of it, she's already been soiled by being with the butcher. She can no longer marry my son.
I think they're already married.
I certainly performed no ceremony.
Yeah. Good. And I doubt they'd known anyone else who would have performed a ceremony. Will they mention Suzumi?
Not unless I ask them to, and I will not. This is for you to decide. This is your family's honor and your family's story to tell.
Perhaps in light of her being too judgmental on a broken marriage vow might not be the wisest course.
My father was not to blame for what happened.
I am interested if you would care to explain.
There's nothing to explain. My father was not the reason all this happened.
So he did marry Suzumi.
And he just glares at you. This look and goes, my father is not responsible for Suzumi.
No, Suzumi left off a cliff, and Suzumi was responsible for her tortured spirit and casting vengeance upon your village. That's entirely Suzumi's fault.
Speaking of Suzumi, I'm speaking of a broken marriage vow.
Because you look, he's like, a foolish marriage that should not have been.
Perhaps one arranged in haste? Perhaps a better match could have been made? I was not there. Who is to say?
Sounds a lot like something we got going on currently.
Are you an old Japanese man or an old Jewish woman? Because
I don't know why they're so in love. Why don't you just let them go get married? Why? What's your problem?
I am verklempt. Excuse me, you have a bit of schmutz upon your face.
Let me get that.
If that makes its way to a T-shirt, I want one.
Okay. So at which point he just, like, very well. If this scourge just completely taken off of us, they will be forgiven and sanctified in the village.
It seems a very wise and forgiving position for a village elder to take.
It's a pity we'll never know what drove this particular hag to do what she did.
Indeed. But at least the terror is through.
Sort of nods and kind of he just takes a moment to just sort of like shake off the sort of anger and resentment at the family stuff. Collects
They'll keep run away from the cliffs for a while, just in case.
collects himself and is like, "We have much to talk with the village about. You will, of course, have a feast to
Some
celebrate
tea,
what you've
a
done."
nap, perhaps some nice venison.
Okay. Anything anybody wants to do before we fade to black?
I want to stand on one leg and play my... No.
I want to get a nut punch in on somebody. I don't care who.
Nut
I'll hit
punch.
someone with my flute this episode.
No, I think that's good. I think we did our
Yeah.
Yeah.
That wraps it up.
All right. Camera
satisfied.
goes back, fades to black, and the game.